today suffering under the simple agenda of gigantic energy costs.
This morning, the public will get a chance to weigh in on those high natural gas prices. Thanks so much for being here, everyone. At 6 a.m. on this Tuesday, I'm Eric Connard.
And I'm Netta Irampour. The CPUC and the California Energy Commission, they'll be holding this virtual hearing. It starts at 9 this morning. It all comes a day after Governor Gavin Newsom called for a federal investigation.
CBS 8's Chris Groh live outside SDG&E headquarters where angry customers have been demanding answers here. Chris?
Yeah, they're demanding answers for seemingly why it is that they've been carrying the bulk of this weight of high natural gas prices, high utility bills. And again, we're seeing some people that have been paying just really outrageous prices, and they want answers. They also want accountability. Taking a listen to what some of them had to say during yesterday's protest.
Where is the Public Utilities Commission on this? They're supposed to be the watchdog.
And again, that protest took place just right here outside of SDG&E headquarters. And while they are hoping that someone will explain to them why it is that they are paying these high prices, again, SDG&E trying to explain that they believe it's due to the market, due to the way that the demand for natural gas went way up during the winter, as well as the transportation of it. But we're also seeing Governor Newsom potentially trying to get to the bottom of this. In a letter to federal regulators, he's requesting an investigation to determine whether market manipulation or price gouging is at play. Now, also in Sacramento, ratepayers will have a chance to chime in during public comment later today in just about 3 hours' time when the Utility and Energy Commission meet today. There was some good news recently. Last week, state regulators okayed a $104 credit on ratepayer bills for February and March as part of the state's climate credit program. But some think that that's just taking the focus off the real issue, and they want folks to continue to pay attention and hold those accountable, hold their feet to the fire, if you will.
20 years ago, the public was outraged and did something about it. And right now, they're passing out the tranquilizers and the pablum. And, we don't need that. We need some hot sauce.
And look, SDG&E has said again that the market is the cause for these high prices due to whether it be demand or transportation. And they have also said that per law, they cannot sell natural gas for anything more, not even a penny more than what it is that they buy it for. Now, they've also said that if you need help with your bills, with some sort of financial assistance, whether it be a payment plan or other options, you can always access that through SDG&E's website. You can look at other options as well as that one by going to cbs8.com. You can also find out how to access public comment for today's Utility and Energy Commission meeting. Eric and Netta.
Chris Groh reporting live. Thanks, Chris. This morning, Sharp Healthcare notifying patients about a data breach.
We are told that somebody got into a server that runs Sharp's website. CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol live in the studio now to explain how many patients have been affected, what we can do to get more information on this.
Well, Eric and Netta, when you hear data breach, you get worried if your information was compromised. And it is important to point out the hack didn't gain access to patient Sharp medical record systems. According to Sharp Healthcare, someone gained access to a file on their website server for a few hours on January 12th. Now, this data breach impacted just over 62,000 patients. The information contained in the file was limited to patient names, internal Sharp ID numbers, and payment amounts. Sharp says it did not include bank or credit card information, social security numbers, health insurance, contact info, or information on services received. Sharp also says this only affects people who paid bills online between August 12th of 2021 and January 12th of this year. Now, Sharp began mailing notification letters to people whose information was involved in the incident. Sharp has also established a dedicated toll-free call center to answer questions about that incident, and we have that number on cbs8.com. Now, Sharp does recommend that affected individuals review their statements they received from their healthcare providers. If you see any charges for services you did not receive, contact your provider immediately.
And in case you forgot, Scripps Health also dealt with a data breach back in 2021. In fact, many of you have received postcards in the mail from Scripps regarding the breach that compromised the personal information of patients. In a statement, the health agency agreed to pay more than $3.5 million to victims.
And now an update on what's been happening in Turkey and Syria. There's been a glimmer of hope, at least this morning, after that pair of devastating, massive earthquakes along the Turkey-Syria border. We have been seeing new videos overnight. You see right there, children being found alive underneath the rubble of these collapsed buildings, their homes. Sadly, the death toll, though, has jumped to over 5,000 people killed in these quakes. The quakes hit early Monday. The first was a 7.8 magnitude. Just hours later, a 7.6 hit right nearby. Governments around the world are sending aid right now. The White House announcing it is sending teams to help with search and rescue, including a team from Los Angeles County.
Right now, President Biden getting ready for tonight's State of the Union address before a new divided Congress. This year's speech is happening with Republicans in control of the House. The White House says the president will tout progress on the economy as federal data shows easing inflation and a strong labor market with the lowest unemployment rate in more than 50 years. But a new CBS News poll shows 61% of Americans believe the economy is in bad condition. Meantime, a Trump 2024 campaign source confirms the former president will release a video response right after President Biden's speech. Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who was previously Trump's press secretary, will deliver the official Republican response. You can watch the State of the Union live right here on CBS 8 starting at 6 p.m. We'll also have local news at the same time on the CW San Diego.
We are the workers, the mighty, mighty workers, the mighty, mighty workers.
This morning, janitors will rally as a 2-week strike delay comes to an end. These janitors work at the San Diego County Administration Building, and they want their contractor, Nova, to recognize their union, offer better working conditions, and rehire workers who say they were illegally fired. County Board Chair Nora Vargas asked for a cooling-off period so she could negotiate with Nova and their employees. Today, we'll find out what happened during those talks.
Classic cars and lowriders is embedded in our culture, and we are proud of that.
New this morning, local assembly member David Alvarez, seen right here, pushing to remove a ban on cruising in California. You see the signs, cruising is not a crime. They say he just introduced a bill that would amend the state's vehicle code, which would prevent authorities from stopping people from driving or cruising in modified cars. San Diego's United Lowrider Coalition traveled all the way to Sacramento to support this announcement. Today, Alvarez will hold a town hall. It'll be in Imperial Beach to discuss this and other state legislation impacting San Diegans. Governor Gavin Newsom is in Washington, D.C. today. He's there attending the National Governors Association meeting. He'll also meet with White House officials. Now, according to our sister station in Sacramento, we could expect an announcement on the homeless crisis. We will be sure to stay on top of this and bring you any updates from D.C.
We are checking in on our forecast with the birthday boy today.
Oh,
everybody wish happy birthday to Evan
Happy birthday,
Narani.
Evan.
Oh,
Yes.
we just were looking at the most. Oh, here it is. Look at this.
Oh, there you go.
That's the moonlight.
Oh, so pretty.
Isn't that beautiful? This reminds me. Did you see the movie Moonlight?
Oh,
It
yes.
has like shots like this that are
Under
just
the
beautiful of like the light of the nearly full moon. We're a couple days out from it, but just kind of beaming off of the water there. Incredible. For my birthday,
came to
exactly.
shine on you.
Santa Anas are also back for my birthday. We're going to be seeing those winds pick up as we head toward this afternoon. We have another round of Santa Anas in the forecast as we head toward Thursday. Temperatures this afternoon are going to be in the upper 60s for the coastline, low 70s for your inland valley. So we're slowly warming our way up. A lot of sunshine all across the county, but that also means that in turn our temperatures to start off the morning are on the colder side of average. So we're mostly in the 30s and 40s out there. 39 right now in El Cajon, 37 in Escondido. Sunrise is not for another half hour. So between now and the next half hour, these temperatures, yes, they can drop. So here's that 24-hour temperature change, how we differ from this time yesterday. When we lose all the clouds, like the clouds that we had yesterday, well, in turn, we're left with some cooler temperatures. And today is a pretty clear start to the morning. So Santa Anas keep picking up under this building ridge of high pressure. Air comes up across the mountaintops. It compresses when it reaches that high altitude and then drops down the backside, giving your inland valleys and coastline some very warm temperatures. That's hot air that's traveling farther off to the west of the mountains. Offshore winds are going to peak 30 to 50 mile per hour range. We've got strongest winds expected along the foothills through the mountain passes. That means high profile vehicles should be taking caution because of the possibility of those 50 mile per hour gusts. Now, over the next couple days, we're going to be seeing these winds die down. For example, tomorrow, pick back up Thursday, die down again by Friday as we start to see some clouds reconvene. But between now and Thursday, things are pretty comfortable out there. We're staying mostly in the 70s for your inland valleys by the afternoon, and we'll climb to the 70s for tomorrow, it looks like, at least possibly, as well as Thursday. Thursday is by far the peak, and then Friday holds on to most of that warmth before we see a rapid cool down into Saturday and Sunday, which we'll detail in just a bit. Here are your wind speeds right now. 30 mile per hour gusts coming through in Alpine as we speak. 23 in Julian, 13 in Laguna, so it is gusty out there. No watches, warnings, or advisories right now related to the wind. Let's take a look at traffic as we start off the morning. It's 6:11 on the clock, and so far your drive times have been looking pretty comfortable out there. We are mostly in the 60 mile per hour range out there, so 60 to 70, and looks like the 5 southbound, 78 westbound, and 52 westbound are pretty comfortable out there for the morning commute. Ned and Eric, back over to you.